Hey guys, I believe we've gotten to a section on the Bible that I was wanting to talk about, but before I get any further, when I was talking about whether Masonry was a religion or not, I had told you that I was driving by a local lodge the other day, and actually it's been, I guess, a couple weeks ago now, and I had noticed that there was a sign on the lodge that said Masonic Temple, and I didn't put it in the presentation because I forgot about it. But this is actually a frame that I was able to take from a video as I was driving by. But you can see clearly here that it says Masonic Temple. And what I'm trying to say here basically is that, and while, like I said, I believe that if you were to ask anybody that is a member of the Blue Lodge or I guess Freemasons in general, whether they believe that the Masonic Lodge or the fraternity of the Freemasons is a religious institution, they would say no, that it's not. But the point that I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of things that point to the contrary, or at least that's what the intention of it is supposed to be. And I don't know what goes on in these local lodges. I don't know if they adhere strictly to the Masonic guidelines. I don't know if they do everything exactly as they're supposed to. I'd like to think that this particular local lodge is full of a bunch of godly people that don't have a clue what they're actually a part of. But anyway, like I said, all I'm trying to say is that it seems that all of the signs are pointing that it is at least supposed to be some kind of religion. The master, again, the master is the priest of the lodge. All of these authoritative texts claim that the Masons is a religion. And there are some other things here later on that I will get into as well that further that. But even on the outside, instead of saying it's just a building or whatever, even though it does say lodge right here, it's called a Masonic temple. And what is a temple? It is a place of worship. But anyway, let's get back to my presentation here. I don't have a whole lot to say about the Bible. The Bible is one of the Masonic lights, or great lights, one of the three great lights that they have. The first one is, and it's not necessarily the Bible, and I'm going to get into this. It's any book of faith, really. Or what, I guess you could even replace it with whatever you have faith in. It doesn't have to be a book. But here's some quotes that I've got on what the Masons' view is on the Bible. And I'm just going to read this. The Bible is used among Freemasons as a symbol of the will of God. However it may be expressed. Therefore, whatever to any people expresses, that will may be used as a substitute for the Bible in a Masonic lodge. Thus, in a lodge consisting entirely of Jews, the Old Testament alone may be placed upon the altar, and Turkish Freemasons make use of the Quran. Whether it be the Gospels to the Christian, the Pentateuch to the Israelite, the Quran to the, I'm going to say, Muslim, or the Vedas to the Brahmin, it everywhere Masonically conveys the same idea, that of the symbolism of the divine will revealed to man. Alright, now I know this is going to fly in the face of everybody who is crying tolerance and everything like that, but as a Christian, I don't believe that the Vedas or the Quran show the divine will revealed to man. As a Christian, I believe that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody comes to the Father except through Him. Now, I know that doesn't show any tolerance for other religions, But that's what the Christian believes. It's not what Oprah Winfrey says about how there's many ways to God. That's not what I cannot believe in the Bible and believe that, because the Bible is or specifically is against that line of thinking. There is not many ways to God, or there are not many ways to God. There is one way to God. So for the Mason to sit here to tell me that, hey, you can use the Bible because that's what you believe in, and I understand that the Masons are trying to be tolerant, but my point is that the whole point of this presentation is how Christians should not be part of the Mason, and this is one reason. Because according to the Christian, and I hope that people who are Freemasons that are believers in Jesus Christ put themselves as a believer in Jesus Christ first. Because as a believer in Jesus Christ, you have to sit here and say, okay, am I going to be part of an organization that comes out and says, okay, there are many ways to find out the divine will of God revealed to man? Because the Christian is, or should be, against that, and should have an issue with that. And I think I'm going to develop this a little bit further, and without continuing to take up a whole lot of time on this, I'm going to get to the next one. The Bible is an indispensable part of the furniture of a Christian lodge, only because it is the sacred book of the Christian religion. The Hebrew Pentateuch in a Hebrew lodge and the Quran in a Mohammedan one belong on the altar. And one of these, and the square and the compass, properly understood, are the great lights by which a Mason must walk and work. Okay, for the Christian Mason, the three great lights are the Bible, the square, and the compass. For the Muslim, it is the Quran, the square, and the compass. To the Jew, it's the Pentateuch, the square, and the compass. The Torah, or the Torah, is the great light. To continue, the obligation of the candidate is always to be taken on the sacred books, book or books of his religion. The obligation is the oath that is taken, is always taken on the book that they here it is, that they deem it more solemn and binding. They take it on the book of their faith, or whatever they put their faith in, to deem their oath more solemn and binding. And to continue with the quote, and therefore it was that you were asked of what religion you were. We have no other concern with your religious creed. So, in the world's eyes, the Masons appear to be just tolerant of all religions because we all just want to be brothers and get along. But as a Christian, we definitely want to get along and show God's love. But in being tolerant of other religions is, I guess, acquiescing or giving in to the fact that you're just okay with other people going to hell. That's the way I see it. If you, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit further, but if you go into the lodge and you know that there are other people who, the Christian religion is not for me, I'm going to take my oaths on a Quran, and you never share your faith, or you never share your stance with them. It's an issue I think that we should have as Christians. I think that's a big problem, and I'm going to get into that further when I talk about the funeral and things like that. But basically, the point I'm trying to get across here is that the Bible is merely something for you to take your oaths on, and it's only important to the candidate because that's what they supposedly put their faith in. If Masonry were simply a Christian institution, the Jew and the Muslim, the Brahmin and the Buddhist could not conscientiously partake of its illumination. So basically, they have to be all-encompassing because they want people of all faiths and religions to come in there. And on the outside, you may think, "Oh, that's fine." We want to be, we want everybody to feel comfortable in the lodge. But I just want to make the point that that's what their stance is on the Bible itself.